Hi everybody, welcome to Paper Person Playtime. We have a brand new YouTuber starting with us, and she is Susanna Lee. If you haven't met Susanna yet, definitely, absolutely go check out her channel. So I'm going to be doing a 12 by 12 layout with my Paper Person kit today. And actually, I left this out on my desk, and we're pretty much going to kill it this week. So I'm going to use it tomorrow for my Laura Whitaker's Sketches Reimagined. I'm going to use it Thursday for my Stamping for Scrapbookers series. I just decided to leave it on my desk and use it up, which is the whole point of the series. I don't want these kits I'm paying for to stack up on me. Okay, I'm going to be scrapbooking 2 photos of coffee. This is going to be a coffee layout. So the kind of theme of this kit is day by day. So it has a lot of like sentiments, and the stamp set is for documenting like daily stuff. So coffee for me is a daily occurrence. I went ahead and cut a little triangle from this beautiful pink paper from Pink Paisley. And I'm going to create kind of like a diagonal design a little bit. So I'm going to ink everything using Distress Oxide and Vintage Photo because my pictures I'm going to use are in sepia. I have been working with torn edges a lot lately, and so I'm super excited to kind of do that again. That's kind of just been what I've been really enjoying, so I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna grab, so these are the papers I've already cut into. I've grabbed the papers I've already cut into, and I'm just gonna cut into them a little bit more. This pink paper is double-sided. So is that green paper, but I don't like the other side of the green paper, so we're just gonna ignore that. But I do like both sides of this pink paper, so I'm going to use both sides of that. And I'm just going to create torn layers. I'm going to ink everything. I'm going to tear the papers. Of course, when I get to kind of this spot, it's not going to work completely. So I'm not going to be able to, the paper isn't going to span that whole diagonal, but that's fine because I'm just going to use more torn edges to cover up the straight edges of the layout. So you can see here, I'm just tearing all this paper. What I did was I cut 2-inch strips. So the strips started out at 2 by 12, and then I just tore and tore and tore and tore. And then I'm taking all of these torn edges and I'm tucking them underneath each other to create this kind of layered stripes or layered patterns. Very, very similar kind of to what I did on Monday with my Wild Whisper layout, except that it's just different. It's on the diagonal. I'll try my hardest not to do that anymore this week, but we'll see. I'm really, really loving it right now. I just think it adds just this lovely texture to the entire page and the layout, and so fun. So I'm going to go ahead and keep doing this. I end up using 4 or 5 patterns, I think, until I felt like I had enough of that corner edge to create my middle area. You'll see that in a second. Once I had the top left corner done, I wanted to work on the bottom right, but I want a smaller corner down there. So I'm going to take this awkwardly cut paper and I'm just going to like move it all around and trim it down, figure out how I can get some usable pattern out of it. Kind of, unfortunately, when you cut a corner off of a page, right, you get this awkward paper. So now I have these 2 pieces, these 2 patterns, and I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing. I'm going to ink them up, tear them, and just create a smaller area in the bottom right of my page, just using these 2 patterns. And then we end up with this lovely area in the middle that we can put our photos and embellishments and all those kinds of things in there. So one of these pictures I did mat with one of the journal or one of the pocket cards from the collection. So there is cut apart sheets in this kit, and then you also get an email with the digital cards. So you can print the pocket cards that are in the cut apart sheet, and then you can use the patterns that are on the other side of the cut apart sheets, which is really, really nice. I love that option. So I'm going to go ahead and pop that second photo up here and kind of overlap them just a little bit. And then I'm just going to start to layer in. I'm using a couple of the die cuts from the collection. I have these adorable epoxy flare from Scrap and Happy Studio that I really, really just had to use. They're like little coffee cups. And I'm going to cluster everything around my photos. That gives me some white space from all of the pattern as well. And this layout is one that does have a lot of kind of words and text, but it works and I love it. So I know I say a lot that I don't like a ton of text on my pages, and that's very true. But for this one, things just were working really well when I added the text to the design. So I'm going to go through and kind of decide which die cuts I want to use, which epoxy flare, and then I'm going to punch a couple of circles from this scrap of paper here. I punch these because I knew I was going to have areas on this layout that were going to need a bit of filler to avoid some white space from happening. And this is a great way. Just punch some circles, tuck them in and around your clusters. And then I chose a circle because the epoxy flares are a circle, and I thought, well, that would mimic those, and we could kind of layer them on top of each other if we wanted, things like that. I only punched 3 circles, and then I kind of cut them apart a little bit so I could tuck them up, under, and around different areas of the layout. So I'm going to get these kind of settled, get an idea of where I want them, and then I really need to work on my title. I know what my title is going to be. You can see I've pulled a ton of Kelly Perky's letter stickers out because we're going to do a title that's a couple different colors. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of these clusters. I don't remember how many of these clusters I actually kind of like glued down here before I started on my title, but I did some of them, the ones that I knew where I wanted them to be. Maybe I went ahead and popped them all down. I must have. Anyway, so you can see here how adding those circles filled in some of those areas that would have been kind of trapped white space. For example, underneath that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday die cut, I have a couple going off the edge here. I really love that kind of mustardy yellow one at the top that has 3 things that says good, bad, and ugly and lets you pick which one you want. And I totally checked the good. So now I know I still have a couple of places I need to fill in, but I want to get my title going. These they're like a blue aqua color. They're so pretty. These Kelly Perky alphabet stickers, those are from the kit. But then I grabbed some light pink ones that from one of her other kits. I grabbed light pink, and I grabbed this like burgundy color, which they match perfectly. They were from and they're the same exact font. I got them in one of her grab bags she had on Black Friday. So I'm going to do kind of like a multicolored title, and the title is going to be Every Day is a Good Day for Coffee. And you can see here that I made the coffee into that pretty burgundy shade, so it kind of stands out a little bit darker. Now let's do some stamping. So I'm using Catherine Polar in Daydream ink, and I have the Cozy stamp set. That was one of the new releases and add-ons. I added it on to my kit because it was just perfect and I loved it. I'm going to go ahead and stamp 3 of the sentiments from the stamp set. I am going to stamp one that is a circle and says comfort food. I'm going to stamp one that says feeling all of the warmth. And I'm going to stamp one that says emotional support, and then it says animal, person, or food. And I took my black pen and marked food. And what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stamp them with this Daydream ink and then clean my stamps, and then I'm going to just cut these out. I kept this really, really simple. I could have done this and stamped or punched them into circles or squares or something. I could have stamped them onto labels. I just kind of kept it really simple. I just trimmed out each of these stamped phrases, added some Vintage Photo Distress Oxide to the outside edges, and then tucked them in and around my layout, kind of filling in some of the gaps or just where they looked good to me. And then I gave myself a nice area of white space at the top of that diagonal and at the bottom so that the layout didn't become too busy or too overwhelming. So quick edit, Susanna is joining us in next month, not this month. So be sure to head over to Christina's channel and check out her design for this week's Paper Person Playtime. I saw her layout and it's so pretty, you guys. You've got to go see it. It's so adorable. Have a wonderful day and I'll see you soon. Bye.